The lighting ain't that great. Ariane, Aileen Cruz, how you doing? How you guys? How's it going? Trying to get rid of that light that's in my eyes. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. It's this one right here. See it? Ah, 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 like that? I'm not sure. Ooh, sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just decided to do a random live. Thanks for showing up. It is Friday. Friday, a lot of people are doing live streams, right? Moema is in the house. Mm. Yeah, I was going to talk about a couple different things about Thailand that are very, very similar to the Philippines. And the first thing was, it's not very pedestrian friendly. Oh, by the way, we're coming to you live from Terminal 21. It's very similar to the Philippines that way, in that it's not an extremely pedestrian friendly place. For example, Minnie and I were walking to catch the jeepney, or they call it the bot taxi or the truck taxi. We were walking down from the hotel, and they only give you like so much space. If there's a sidewalk at all, it's only enough for, about this much space. So you have to walk very carefully down the street, lest you get hit by a vehicle of some kind, a truck, a bus, a motorbike, because they have the right of way. The pedestrians don't really have the right of way here in Thailand. It works very similarly in the Philippines. Of course, in the Philippines, right here, you have to be very, very careful. Pedestrians are constantly being mowed down by drivers that aren't paying attention where they're going. It's just a fact of life. So I'm terrified at times walking down the street when we're going to catch the jeepney or the bot bus or the truck taxi, whatever you want to call it, because I'm always afraid that we're going to get hit. So this morning, and plus I have lousy eyesight. When you have lousy eyesight, you have to be extra, extra careful when crossing the street. So we couldn't find a place to cross the street that I felt comfortable with. So we had to walk about 2 or 3 blocks to the footbridge so we can climb over the highway so that we can catch the truck taxi that was going in the proper direction that we needed to go. So that's one of the things that's very, very similar to the Philippines about Thailand. That's takes a while to get used to. Also, as you get older, you have to pay more attention to the loose gravel and things that you're walking on, and the sidewalks, because they have very, very few sidewalks here. And they're improvised sidewalks, which means that they'll put a sidewalk someplace where they think they need one. A lot of times it's the business owners in the neighborhood that are doing it. They'll put a sidewalk in, but it's not going to be, like the sidewalks that you find in Europe or other places like the United States or Australia. They'll use any kind of stepping stone or rock or gravel or clay in order to make an improvised sidewalk for people to walk on. And so when you get older, you have to look down all the time, and that's distracting because I'd rather be looking straight ahead. But you actually have to be looking downward to be very careful of what steps you're taking, because if you're not, you're going to end up in a rat hole someplace. You'll twist an ankle so easily, or you'll break it. So if you've got mobility issues, for example, it's very difficult to maneuver, around the city because it's not very pedestrian friendly. Equally so, I mean, in the newer areas where they're doing new development, everything is fine because they're putting in sidewalks and things like that. If you're in some of the older areas, like we had to come down to the main road in order to catch the jeepney or catch the truck taxi or the bot bus, whatever you want to call it, you're going to have a very, very narrow walkway. And in fact, you won't, if you're in a wheelchair or something like that, you're not going to be able to maneuver through there. There's no way. There's no way to maneuver through there. And, handicap ramps and things like that, or access ramps as they call them, which is a little bit more politically correct, they're going to be tougher to come by in some of the older areas where retired expat can afford to live. I guess that's the point. Now, just want to talk a little bit about one of my videos that got not demonetized, but got limited monetization on YouTube. And that was the short video that you guys noticed. A lot of people didn't appreciate it. I understand. I'm not here to debate really the context of it, except from this perspective. A good friend of mine pointed this out. So if you go into, for example, it's the one about the restroom, where they had the graffiti art on the wall, and the graffiti art was kind of like looking down. There were women looking down in stunned silence as supposedly the man is using the urinal. So if you look at that, it's the one before last. The last one we uploaded was the ice cream truck that we ran into when we were at the Big Buddha in Pattaya. But the one before that is the one I'm talking about, that's taken in a Thai restroom at Mini Siam, one of the parks that we were visiting. Now, just wanted to bring this up because a friend of mine made a very, very good point about this. This is their own art in the restroom. It's not something that I invented, right? I had fun with it. I'll admit that it caught my attention. But there's other restroom art, or I guess some of you might refer to it as being restroom graffiti, that is even more mind-blowing than that. So if you go in there and you watch that video, you're going to see what I'm talking about. How you have women there and they're going, oh my God, like this, because they're viewing the men using the urinal, and you don't know what you're going to see. It's a surprise. And you even see one of the characters on the wall in the graffiti art, the restroom graffiti art, holding an iPhone, snapping a picture of what she's seeing. And so all I did was I fed into that by making a little fun. But here's why, and I've seen restroom or toilet graffiti, I guess some people call it, that would absolutely shock you. It's very shocking, right? But the reason why I wanted to talk about this is the reason why they allow that, or that freedom of expression. One of the reasons why is because there's no such thing as PC correctness here in Thailand. That's one thing. And the reason why that I think that it doesn't exist is because they weren't colonized by any one group of people. So a lot of people don't know this. See, Thailand was not colonized by anyone. So that led to the preservation of their own culture. And freedom of expression. I feel more free in Thailand than I do other places. Even though the rules are relatively strict, as long as you understand them, and then you could thank you for liking, Glenna, and you could plug yourself into those rules. You're going to be okay living here in Thailand. But the thing is, and I find it fairly easy to adapt and assimilate into the culture. And it's unlike any culture that I've ever experienced before, but I like it. And so the reason for the bathroom art is it's whatever came to the artist's mind at the time, what that artist wanted to express. And it seems perfectly reasonable to me, that you would put toilet art or graffiti bathroom art in a toilet like that. I see them almost in every toilet or CR, as you call it in the Philippines, anywhere you go in Thailand. They have a theme, and sometimes the theme will be shocking and surprising, such as the one in this video. So anyway, it got limited. After a day of it not, or I would say 12 hours of not going anywhere because YouTube wasn't sharing it out in the short videos, I decided that, okay, they changed, unbeknownst to me, they sent me a message saying that, no, we're going to limit this on the advertising revenue because we don't like it, or whatever it is, right? It's not right for the YouTube community. Now, I've had this happen before. For example, the short video that I called the butt crack, I did not pose anybody. I didn't ask anybody to pose for this video or anything. This is just regular life in the public here in Thailand for all to see, right? And sometimes if you don't want to see it, then you just turn your head and that's it. There's no big deal. As I said, I think part of it, the explanation for why they have such freedom of expression here is because they weren't colonized. So they don't have this concept known as being politically correct like they have in the West, like they have in Europe, where they have in United States and different countries, even the Philippines. If it's not politically correct, then you're going to get limited. You're going to get told that it isn't. So anyway, what's the answer? I don't know what the answer is. The answer really is to ask for a review because there was nothing wrong. I didn't see anything wrong with it at all. I was just having a little bit of fun with it, and so I don't know if someone complained about that video, but when I saw that yellow caution tag appear 12 hours after the video had already been approved to be aired, I was really shocked and surprised. Dun, dun, dun. I was really surprised by that. I almost couldn't believe it when I saw that because it simply wasn't offensive. Anime, do you think that video with the toilet art or the restroom graffiti, do you think that was offensive to anyone? Because I did not paint it. The Thai people painted it, and you know what they were implying. Godzilla is in the house. Right? So I was shocked when YouTube sent me that this is a no-go. This is a no-go. It's not very family friendly. Well, I don't have a very family friendly channel, right, Daisy Lynn Castro? I mean, I'm a little rough, I can be a little rough at times, pointing certain things out. But anyway, that's their freedom of expression. And as I pointed out, Thailand they were not colonized by anyone. They preserved their culture. Even to this day, preserving Thai culture is very, very important to them, and I respect it. Maybe for Lolo Serdam, but for us, it's not. Thank you. All right, well, thank you. I appreciate your honest answer. So if you would, since it's not going anywhere anyway, let's get a count and share it out. Share that video out. It's a toilet video. I kept changing the title to see if it would catch on. It turns out that it was YouTube that just wasn't, they weren't allowing it to move forward in the shorts. You know how they share the shorts? Well, they weren't, They weren't going to share it. They didn't like it. So, but I did ask them. I asked them to review it, you know, and I don't know if that's going to get me in trouble. What happens if they say, "No, no, we're sticking to our original decision not to monetize that video"? Guys, I'm just a happy-go-lucky guy. I could be all over the place on what catches my attention and what puts a big smile on my face. You guys know this. For example, we love the soft serve ice cream. We love it. We love showing you the videos of the soft serve ice cream. And I like bubblegum machines. I like any kind of vending machines. Des is here. Hi, Des. How is everything going in Bye Bye City Late Day? So, anyway, people were dismayed, but I think Knitband gave me the best reason as to why, you know, simply was just being misunderstood by YouTube. You know, they just don't understand the culture of Thailand. You know, of course, I do have one or two trolls, you know, that rear their ugly head every now and again. You know, that may have complained. I've had a troll, one in particular, that has been complaining about some of the videos that I've been posting, and most of the time, no one pays any attention to them. But every now and again, they will. Every now and again, YouTube will say, "Yeah, that's a little bit spicy. We shouldn't. We should do something about that," you know. And then they won't, you know, they won't take down the video, but they'll limit the sharing of it or the monetization of it. So now, setting that aside, because that's not so important. I mean, not for a small channel like me. Any view that you give for any of those videos are truly appreciated. Any support that you give is truly appreciated. Let's talk about something else, though. Let's talk about something else. I've got a little spider bite on the back of my neck that's causing me itchy. By the way, I ended up getting a heat rash, and I ended up having to go to the pharmacy to get some cream, you know. And what it was is I just broke out on my arms, both arms, and they're healing up now after, I think, day 3 of using the medication, which is probably it's some kind of cream that has steroids in it. I don't know what it's called. It opened up the pores a little bit, so my sweat glands would open up. It's mostly caused by, what do they call that? Clogged up sweat glands or pores. You know, the fluid was probably gathering underneath the skin, causing that rash or pimples to appear. You know, they're like little bumps. Once I used the cream, and which opened up the pores, and I switched over to these long sleeve shirts for the last couple of days, everything was fine. It started to heal up right away. But it did rain like crazy yesterday. We were soaked by the time we made it back to our hotel. I mean, the downpour completely caught us by surprise. It was unlike any thunderstorm that I've ever been in my entire life. We were drenched. I mean, drenched by the time we got back to the hotel. It was not the most pleasant experience that we've ever had. Larry Lee is in the house. Hi, Larry Lee. Larry says hi, ma'am, Minnie. Hello.
Sir Larry. How are you?
See, she's here. She's sitting next to me. But we're around one of these round circular things that, anyway, it's like a pedestal that sticks up out of the ground at the Dunkin' Donuts. I'm having an iced tea. 29 baht, which is a little less than $1 if you think about it. All right, so now I started thinking about another thing I wanted to share with you. I want to talk about, for just a few minutes, I'm not going to bore you. It may seem boring, but, you know, a lot of people say that Thailand is a cheaper place to live, relatively speaking, when compared to the Philippines. And I have read a lot of articles that talk about this. And they all seem to agree at some point that, yeah, it's a Long Island iced tea. Well, it doesn't have any alcohol in it, though. But that was my favorite drink back in the day, Larry. Anyway, any article that you read is going to say Thailand is less expensive than the Philippines to live in. But I'm not sure. Oh, CBGB's in the house. I am getting bored, Dan. Yes. You may bail on me like the others any moment. Well, here's the whole thing. In my humble opinion, yeah, last year, year before last, we visit every year, right? It would have been fine. I mean, I would agree that that it's cheaper to live here, but it's getting more and more expensive. I'm just giving you my observation. I'm sure that if you're talking about living in the province, it's the same as living in the Philippines province. You know, it's going to be the cheapest place to live, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that that's true. I've got Chat GPT. We're going to ask Chat GPT if it's cheaper to live in Thailand or the Philippines. And by the way, since Minnie and I are only 3 days away from going to Cambodia, we'll also let you know if Cambodia is cheaper to live in than the Philippines and or Thailand. But I'm going to ask Chat GPT, is the cost of living cheaper in Thailand or the Philippines? Now, just give me a moment and then I'll read the answer. Is it cheaper to live in Thailand or the Philippines? We'll ask a question like that. And we'll wait a second to see what answer it gives us. This is Chat GPT. I love this thing. I love this thing. Okay, here's the answer. All right, we're going to go point by point. And once I'm done with this, then I'm done with this. I'm done with the live stream. And by the way, the main reason, one of the other main reasons for being here is simply because I wanted to make sure that you know to show up tonight for our Friday live giveaway. We'll be giving away 3 winners of Pesos 333 tonight at 6 p.m. Philippines on Friday night, 6 p.m. Our regular time, no matter what the schedule says. I still haven't been able to figure it out. I just got back from Sudan and it was still affordable. Oh, Sudan, a wonderful place to live. Very cheap. All right, let me give you the answer that come up. See, Chat, well, you can't see it, but it's Chat GPT on my other phone. I'm gonna just read it the way it's the exact way that gave me the answer here. Both Thailand and the Philippines are relatively affordable compared to Western countries. Yay, we know that. But overall, the Philippines is generally cheaper than Thailand. See, I knew it. And Chat GPT is validating that in the first paragraph here. For most aspects of daily life, however, the cost differences depend on lifestyle. There's the disclaimer that we always have to give. Location and personal preferences. And here's the breakdown. Number 1, housing. Rent in Bangkok or tourist-heavy areas like Phuket is more expensive than in the Philippine cities. A 1-bedroom apartment in Bangkok costs around $400 to $800 per month, while smaller cities are much cheaper. In the Philippines, Manila is expensive, but other cities like Cebu and Davao are cheaper than Bangkok. That's been my experience. A 1-bedroom apartment in Manila costs between $300 and $600 a month, and outside Manila can be somewhere between $150 and $400 per month. Point number 2, food and dining. Thailand, street food is very affordable, $1 to $3 per meal, and restaurants are slightly cheaper than in the Philippines. Eating out is cheap, but international cuisine is often pricier. I agree 100%. A local meal costs around $2 to $4, but groceries tend to be more expensive than in Thailand. That part is true. I validate that. Transportation. Thailand, public transportation like the BTS, that's the SkyTrain, or the MRT, that's the subway, is efficient and cheap. 50 cents to $1.50 per ride in American money, and the Grab ride hailing is affordable. So true. Philippines, public transportation is cheaper. Jeepney costs 20 cents per ride, but traffic is terrible, and Grab fares are higher than in Thailand. True story. I think they're doing pretty good. Utilities and internet. Thailand, electricity is cheaper. I could attest to that also, but air conditioning can raise costs. Always, no matter what country you live in. In the Philippines, electricity is more expensive. $70 to $150 per month using AC often. Internet is slower and less reliable. It depends on where you are, because we have high-speed internet, unlimited. You could put 100 or more different devices on it, and we have only had a couple of problems. Both of them were not the fault of the internet company. They were the fault of us. One of them, the rat eating through the fiber optic cable line. Number two, a car taking down the fiber optic cable line. Entertainment and activities. We're almost done. Hang in there with me. Just give me 5 more minutes. Thailand. There are more options for nightlife, cultural activities, and outdoor adventures. Prices vary, but beer is cheaper. $2 to $3 per bottle than in the Philippines. Now we're talking nightlife here. Philippines nightlife and entertainment are slightly cheaper overall, but fewer options compared to Thailand. Absolutely the truth. You can't even compare them, really. There's no comparison. You go crazy here in Thailand. Healthcare. Thailand, better and more affordable. Right on the money. This is why I like to come to Thailand. We will save up for healthcare and different things that we know that we'll go there and get diagnosed and things in the Philippines. But once we have them, the treatment takes place here in Thailand. Why? Because it's better. Generally speaking, it's better and more affordable healthcare than the Philippines, with top hospital in Bangkok and Chiang Mai. Now, as most of you know, I had the heart scan done, right? Where they take the whole thing, they scan the heart in the machine. They do not a CT scan, what is it? What is that thing called? MRI, magnetic resonance. They break the heart down, they slap it in the computer, they slice and dice it, and then that delivers exactly what's going on with your heart. This was $125. I doubt that you could get this done in the Philippines as cheaply as you can in Thailand, and they're not going to do such as a comprehensive exam. In the Philippines, good healthcare in Metro Manila and Cebu, but not as high quality or cheap as in Thailand. I have to agree that you have to be aware, and you have to doctor shop until you find a good one. And then when you find a good one, you stick with them. Final verdict. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, final verdict. I got the conclusion right here, all mixed up. I got it now squared away in my head. Thailand, the way that ChatGPT has given the answer. I'm reading it directly from the answer. Thailand, slightly more expensive but better infrastructure, healthcare, and transportation. Now that's interesting, because they didn't talk about infrastructure in the answer. They talked about healthcare, food, and transportation, but I didn't see anything about infrastructure. But in the final verdict, they say Thailand slightly more expensive but better infrastructure, healthcare, and transportation. And I agree. And in Philippines, cheaper overall, but lower quality infrastructure and healthcare in many areas. Don't get us started, right? We all know this, right? As being a fact. If you're looking for the cheapest option, the Philippines wins, but Thailand offers better value for the money in terms of quality of life. So that's what they added, that one line in there, right? That one-liner. Thailand offers a better value for money in terms of quality of life. that is debatable. That's it, and so that right there, I'm not so sure about. That is that's going to be based strictly on you and your opinion after you visit both places. I would say that my own thought, and I think that Minnie concurs, is that Thailand is a nice place to visit. So there, you got my. It's a wonderful vacation spot. So there, take that for what it's worth. Oh, Knitban is here. Knitban, I was sharing earlier about the bathroom graffiti, and then listen, I didn't reveal the one that you sent me, the picture that you sent me, but I did explain, I did steal from you the answer about colonialism and all that. I hope you don't mind. All right, everybody. I hope you're doing well. You back in town? We're over at Terminal 21 at Duncan, where we originally met a year or two ago. 8 million people in the house. Presley Manzanero is here, and others. I just had a bag of munchkins. Yay! Munchkins. I'll never forget. I have still the original Dunkin' Donuts Dolly, which was a munchkin. She's about this high. You'll find her on eBay. I think I gave it to my son when I left Sacramento for the Philippines. Anyway, you guys, thanks everybody for showing up. 8 million people in the house towards the tail end of the live stream. We're going to see everybody tonight for the giveaway. Probably we're going to be back at the hotel by then. I'm not sure, but we have all the stuff here. In case we don't make it back to the hotel, this would be a good place to do it. We'll see everybody later. 6 p.m. Philippine time. No matter what the schedule says, be there or be square. I hope you're having a great day. Bye-bye, everybody, and a great evening. See everybody later. Bye-bye.